The first thing you have to realize is that there are people out there who are going to invade your privacy. There are a lot of unethical people in the world who don't care about the Privacy Act, don't care about state and federal laws that prohibit tapping phones and things of that nature. If you have information on a company, you own that company. If you have information on an individual, you own that individual.
But I thought with law enforcement officers,
We spent 4 years investigating the industry to know what existed, what didn't exist, what was myth, what was reality. Did the martini olive in the James Bond movie really work? Did it exist? So after 4 years, we found it was a great marketplace for this, that bugs really did exist. I mean, there's a quote that goes back from Newsweek that over 50,000 bugs were planted at corporate level. And this quote is a good 10 years old. Plus the quote, they said that 50 to 75% of the bugs that were found weren't reported. So you can imagine if 10 years ago 50,000 bugs were planted at corporate level, what exists now?
I believe there's a lot of illegal surveillance or illegal wiretapping going on today, and I believe it's widespread. I don't know that corporate America realizes how widespread it really is, and they don't do things to protect themselves. They're just like a sitting duck out there, and if you're not doing things to protect yourself, you're asking for problems.
10 years ago, if you wanted to get information on your competitor, the way you would do it is go into a garbage can, and you get all their papers, all their clients, their discounts, their records. You get all the information out of the garbage can. Now they have paper shredders, so now people resort to using bugs. And it's real easy. Somebody sends you a plant like this. The plant could have a bug in there. We've found bugs in plants before. Okay? Wall plugs. They're stuck inside of a wall socket. Someone sends you a $300-400 clock. You don't know who sent it to you, but it's a beautiful clock. You're not going to throw it out. Beware, there could possibly be a transmitting device inside that clock.
The technology has so surpassed our needs right now that we have things like pinhole lens cameras that can be placed essentially anywhere. All you need is the size of a pen's point to photograph anyone. That's all you really need. That's the diameter of the hole that you need. And you can place it really anywhere. Normally where it's placed is in ceiling tiles. You can just, all you see is a little black hole, and what it really is a camera. We use sprinkler heads that disguise cameras. We use books that disguise cameras. We use clocks that disguise cameras, mannequins that disguise cameras. Probably the most commonplace is in the ventilation system. You can take a camera and put it in a vent, and people normally don't look in vents to find out what's going on inside a vent.
Today, surveillance is like magic, okay? It's an illusion, and that's the fun part that I enjoy about it. It's like putting a crossword puzzle together. It's finding things that look like one thing, but they're really something else. Here's a simple pack of cigarettes. Somebody pulls it out of their pocket, and if you look inside real close, you'll see it's not a pack of cigarettes. This is a tape recorder that will record for 4 hours. Okay, it's the size of a credit card. Surveillance devices exist, and they come in all shapes and sizes today. Here's a pen, normal pen. Somebody again takes this out of their pocket. What's on it? A transmitting device. This will transmit to another location. They can have this on their desk, in their pocket, picking up all your conversations. Even a simple lipstick container. Okay, this one happens to not be lipstick. It happens to be a knife. But again, a transmitting device can be put into this. It's all an illusion.
A lot of corporations are going to electronic countermeasures to defeat bugs and radio transmitters that are out there right now. I've seen radio transmitters that are the size of a pack of matches. And what they do is they light a cigarette, take their last match, throw it in a waste paper basket, and that will transmit for over 8 hours.
This we found when we did a sweep. This is a simple wall plug. All 3 outlets are live, yet this will transmit a quarter-mile away. Someone has this plugged into your house. They're hearing everything going on in your house, in your office, etc. Wireless taps could be easy to find if you had the right equipment. Here's a cheap bug detector here. In fact, this thing's going off already, and I know there's no bugs in here. This place is secure. Devices like this, they're going to give you signals. Pipes in the walls act as antennas. If you're sweeping with a device like this, you could pick a plane coming in for a landing. It's going to come off the pipes. It's not a threat to you. The better bug detectors, they have a way to hear the sound coming back. It gives you feedback. You can hear your voice. If you set a device up in a room, opera music, country western, whatever's not usually available in the area, you hear that coming back through the headphones, you know there's a bug there. With this, you don't know there's a bug there. You know there could be a plane coming in for a landing, there could be a radio station, etc. This will cause you more hardship than anything else. These we don't recommend at all.
This is one of the most sophisticated piece of equipment as far as debugging goes. It will detect anything from 50 kilohertz up to 5 gigahertz. Many people use this in the industry as far as industrial or domestic.
What a sweep really is looking for transmitters for hidden devices, bugging devices, devices that go against your privacy. And we have a 3-man team, and our 3-man team goes out, and we check for phone taps, we check for room bugs. We do an equipment search which will pick up anything that's wireless. Anything that's not wireless would be a hard wire, and that we detect by doing a physical search as well. This is one right here that goes inside of a wall socket. Now this tap here would be very hard to find. We've heard horror stories of customers coming in here and they can't find bugs, but yet the information is still getting out. Once they have the right equipment and they know how to use it, it becomes fairly easy to find it. But before you get the right equipment, I've heard of people tearing walls right out of their house or their office to find this. This, if it's hooked up to a wall socket, will be powered indefinitely. Okay? Never have to change this. It's always giving information away on your privacy. This unit right here is used in a meeting, a one-on-one meeting, if it's outside your location, and the person you're meeting, you're not sure if they're recording you or they have a body wire on. This unit goes inside a breast coat pocket or inside the belt loop of your pants. And if the person you're talking to has a transmitter or a tape recorder, this will vibrate on your body, alerting only you. If you can look down at the unit, it'll even tell you if it has a tape recorder or an RF transmitter. It'll tell you which one's being used. This unit over here is used to detect tape recorders and cameras. All tape recorders and cameras have bias oscillators, and that's the principle this unit works on. It'll locate them even if they're hidden in walls. Again, illusion is very important in this industry. Here's a clock. It's made to look like a normal clock, but it's really a bug detector. If there was a transmitter going off over here, the clock time would go off and it would flash, alerting you that there's a bug in the area. And this is a pen set bug detector. It's made to look like a normal pen set. The pen's actually right, but there's a bug detector in the back of it. A red light will come on, alerting you there's a transmitter in the area.
This is a bug detector. This is a bug. When you're sweeping for bugs, as you're getting closer to the bug, this will indicate you by making a sound like that.
A long time ago, we did one where the woman thought that her dog was bugged, and we had to go ahead and sweep the dog. Okay, it turned out to be a flea collar that was making a lot of noise, but she thought she was bugged.
Once we finished sweeping the place, the location, taking everything apart, the people that we were doing the sweep for, they say, now could you sweep me, because I believe that, you know, there's something implanted in my head or in my mouth, so, you know, if you don't mind sweeping me. I thought it was kind of funny, off the wall, and yes, we do come across things like that.
We found one transmitting device that really shocked me the way that they installed this. I mean, we walked in the room right away and we started checking because we smelled fresh paint. Somebody had actually cut a hole in the wall installed a transmitting device with the camera inside the wall, sealed the wall over, and repainted it. Must have done it that night because the paint still had a fresh smell to it, and they did a real good job. And if it hadn't been for our equipment, I don't think we would have found it. On a physical search, it was installed so well. And this was somebody who really knew what were doing and wanted to gain information in a real bad way, and it was a very, very sophisticated piece of equipment.
This is a small video camera used for surveillance on many different applications. It works with a small regular lens, or as well you could use a pinhole lens, which could be concealed behind any picture or anything, and this is all got to be exposed.
Cameras can be any place your imagination will take it. Fiber optic scopes are so small it's like fishing line, and we can run it underneath the carpet, run it underneath the door, and film everything inside the location. Okay, if you look in the back of a lot of magazines, I don't want to create any more paranoia or make it easier for people to obtain these devices, but in the back of a lot of magazines, without mentioning them, they sell these devices. You can look there in kit forms. If you go to some electronic stores, they have them. We must get 20, 30 calls a week for people who want to buy transmitters from us. We tell them it's illegal, and they say, thank you, I'll find it elsewhere. And they do. This is an array of different bugs that were found at different times, but you can see they go from all different sizes, from the very small up to the very big, even in pens. If you can see inside here, there's a pen bug inside this unit here, plus the pen even writes. This is one that goes inside a wall socket. This unit is self-contained. The battery is inside, but by sliding the plate off the back, you can see where the battery supply would go. This unit here is a common wireless microphone that you can use by almost any place and be used as a transmitting device. Okay, that one right there is used for tracking. It has a battery life of up to 60 days. And it'll track for about 2 to 3 miles by ground, 30 miles by air. For this one here to work, you would need to hook up a microphone to it and a battery supply. But this is the actual transmitting part of it. These are some of the kit forms that you see obtained. They're filled with wax. This is a complete set. This comes in kit form, and all you need to do is hook up a 9-volt battery and make this one active. But there's a lot of different kinds available on the marketplace. They're illegally obtained, and they're used for the wrong purposes, but the right equipment can find all these. There's another item that we haven't even talked about yet, and that's probably one of the most threatening devices out there. It's the laser listening device. This is a beam of light, comes in through your window. The other beam waits outside, takes the vibrations off the window, and converts it back into voice where someone can actually hear it. Takes the vibration off the glass. Now that can be jammed. There's jammers that exist for this. But this is, again, so bizarre that it kind of boggles the mind to think that someone can aim a laser beam at your windows and pick up your total conversation. But you still can protect yourself. This is an acoustic noise jammer right here. This is the brains of the unit. These are the transducers. You plug 4 of these into the brain unit. What that'll do is it'll defeat any kind of a laser listening device where the beams come through the window, contact mics, parabolic mics, microwave eavesdropping devices as well.
Probably the most important part of surveilling someone is communication. If you don't have communication, you don't know what your other vehicles are doing, it's almost impossible to watch someone or surveil someone. So that's why we utilize cellular phones. The cellular phones are a lot better than two-way radios, we found, and they give us constant updates on what's going on. We also know about the traffic that we're facing. We also know if they're trying to ditch us by keeping communication with our other units. And what I do is I use automatic dial on here and on the phone, and I can dial up a unit instantly and find out what the subject's doing. When we do a vehicle surveillance, what we normally do is we'll have one car that follows the individual and then a chase car, and we'll use a surveillance van. And what we'll do is we'll interchange the surveillance van with the chase car with the the car that's following him. We'll normally use 2 vehicles and a surveillance van, and this way they normally can't pick up who's behind them. And what we'll do is we'll run parallel streets. By utilizing the mobile phones, we'll know where the person's turning. If they're turning east or west or north or south, we'll be on parallel streets so we can anticipate their moves. When we suspect that someone's onto us, that they know what we're doing, we'll change cars. We'll even go as far as using 5 or 6 different rental cars for the day, so people don't pick up that they're being surveilled. What's dangerous about doing vehicle surveillance is running red lights. If someone goes to a light and stops and waits for the light to turn green or waits for the light to turn red and leaves us behind, we've got to run that red light. And that's really dangerous at times. I've seen investigators get killed in automobile accidents just surveilling someone. If you suspect that you're being surveilled by someone and not knowing who it is, what I would do is drive to the closest police station and have the person identified, because you never know what their motives are in following you. It might be a tactical hit team that's going to assassinate you, or it might just be someone who's questioning your marital status. So my suggestion would be to drive to the nearest police department and have the police officers find out who's surveilling you.
Today, we have cameras right now that instead of the big vents up on top of the surveillance van, they're not necessary. We can take a regular car and the antenna that replaces the car radio. There's a little ball up on top of the antenna. That's fiber optics, and that rotates 180 degrees, and that's filming you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Bulletproof cars we have, that was a fun project. I enjoyed doing that. Okay, we decided, one, to make that the ultimate vehicle. Not only was it bulletproof, but if your wife was driving it, if you were the president of a bank and they wanted to get you for a hostage or for ransom, that you didn't have to be an expert driver to get away. You could push a button and you could drop nails, BBs, oil slick, ball bearings, do 360s to 60 miles an hour. If you're being attacked from the front, had pain generators. That was a fun vehicle. We did it basically for promotion to show what the company was capable of.
There's a lot of corporate espionage going on right now. People don't realize how intense corporate espionage is until it starts affecting them. People are spying on other companies all the time, and it's a matter of assets is what it's a matter of. Protecting your assets and protecting what you have. And most companies don't do it. Most companies will leave their merchandise out in an area that's unprotected, and they leave the company's secrets out in an area that's unprotected. For anybody to come by and look at and see what they're working on at the time, who their clients are, they want to know about bids, they want to know about contracts that are going out. I believe there's a lot of illegal surveillance or illegal wiretapping going on today, and I believe it's widespread.
3 major recommendations that most corporations should do to protect their privacy and their security would be, one is I would recommend a paper shredder. That's very important for important documents. Have a bug detection section where they can do their own sweeps in between a regular sweep that would be every 30 days. I'd recommend somebody coming and sweeping every 30 days using the boardroom, the CEO's office, the president's office. They should also have a bug detector, and they should do their own sweeps periodically before that 30-day period is up if anything important is coming up that they're going to have a meeting for.
Oftentimes what happens is a private investigator will get a job as a cleaning crew member, which gives them opportunity to get into someone's office and change audio tapes or change videotapes without any fear of detection. And know who's cleaning your office, know who's coming into your office after hours. Keep your doors locked. Have your office cleaned during the day rather than at night when you're not there. And set up little traps in your office to find out if someone's going through your desk.
This is clue spray. What this does is, it's an invisible liquid you can put on a door handle, on a case, any place. If someone touches it, you'll know that. Let's turn off the lights and I'll give you an example. Okay, now, notice the green U on here. If someone was to touch this case, see what happens? Goes onto their fingers. At the same time, it tells you on the case over here that it was touched. But this is only detectable under ultraviolet light.
On a tap, the microphone is the telephone. So the telephone is actually the microphone. Every time the telephone's picked up, you have a vox, a voice actuator, which starts the recording device. And every time there's a drop in voltage, actually, the device starts recording, and you don't have to use tape up that's continually rolling. You're only using tape when the person's on the phone, either when a call is received or when a call is going out.
This is our phone security unit. This unit over here is an excellent unit. What it does is it defeats any kind of a hardwire tap, an infinity, a series, a parallel, an auto start, a lineman set, etc. And it also alerts you at the same time it defeats it. This is a portable phone security unit. It has 3 different modes. One mode will tell you if somebody's picked up an extension phone. Another mode tells you if there's any kind of an RF wiretapping device on the phone. And the third mode lets you jam it. Even though there's a tap on the phone, you can still talk, and the eavesdropper can't understand or hear what you're saying. This is a good portable unit for anyone who travels a lot. This unit fits inside a breast coat pocket. There's 2 trillion combinations on this unit. If you were to put in 1,000 tries per minute into a computer to try and break this, it would take 2.5 million years to hit all the possible combinations. What you do is you type in up to 3 full pages in text. You go ahead, take this part, hold it onto the mouthpiece of a phone, and send it from phone to phone. These 2 units can talk back and forth to each other. If the party you're calling isn't home, you can even take and send this to an answer machine. Go ahead, hit the button. When they come back, they put their machine up to the answer phone, receive the text, but the text is encrypted. The only way they can get it out is to know your 16-digit code. Otherwise, the information is useless to them. If you want a hard copy, you can plug in this portable printer as well, and it'll give you out a hard copy. Real good unit, real secure. This unit right here is a fax scrambler, and what that's used for is to make sure in case someone accidentally sends a fax to the wrong location, without one of these units on the other side, the message wouldn't be complete, they wouldn't be able to understand it. This unit over here could save your life. If you're checking a room, an office, brush area, and you're not sure if there's someone there, by pointing this unit into the room or into the brush, it picks up body heat, and if there's someone there, this unit will vibrate and alert you. Could save your life. These are camera binoculars. They'll work up to 300-400 yards away. It's a 7x20 power. You look in a normal binocular on the back, but there's 3 lenses, and there's a black square inside. Anything inside the black square you can take a picture of. A very good unit.
This is an infrared scope, which will allow you to see in total darkness. For that, you need a light source which will illuminate the object, which will be this one right here. This is also a night scope, which is also infrared. The light on top, it will illuminate the object 100 to 150 feet away. That way you can see the object. This one right here is also infrared for long distance viewing. As you can see, there's no light on top. You will have to have a separate light source in order to illuminate the source and you're able to see it. This is hands-free goggles. Starlight does not require a light source other than whatever light is available to you, moonlight, starlight. This is a single scope starlight as well. Does not require any light other than whatever light is available to you out there. The lens could be exchanged up to 1200 millimeters or something even smaller than this. Allows you to see in total darkness.
This is a hostage tracking system. This little unit right here would be the actual transmitting part of the unit. You'd put this on someone who's a high risk of being kidnapped, or a ransom drop, or a money drop. With the receiver right here, we could pick this up to 30 miles away by air and 3 miles by ground. This is a real good briefcase for anyone who carries anything of value. For instance, a jeweler, a courier, computer tapes, etc. This briefcase will electrify anyone who touches it by remote control. Not kill them, but they'll put it down. We'll shut the lights for a second and show you what it does. This is an electric seat. This has a lot of uses. One in particular is for taxi cab drivers if they're being robbed. Again, we'll shut the lights and demo to you what this will do. The trained dog, one is he's a very loyal, good companion. He's great with the kids, great with the family. You know he's never sleeping. The dog is always there to protect you if anything arises. But it's not a junkyard type dog that's just vicious and barks and tries to bite everyone. This dog is part of your family. He's part of your life. But upon provocation, the dog was there to defend you, either on provocation or on a command.
Give me your money! Give me your money! Give me your money!
Hi, this is Fred Wolfson from Internal Affairs. They just set up a surveillance. 2 female operatives, 2 male operatives. And a surveillance van. Another type of request that we get from individuals is to check out a potential date. Before someone gets involved with an individual, what they'd like to do is know, are they married? Where are they going at night? Do they live where they say they live? Do they work where they say they work? What are their finances like? Are they worth what they say they're worth? And we're doing a lot of that right now, checking out individuals before they get involved with someone, pre-dating and premarital dating. You know, it's really very easy to find information on people. There are so many databases out there that contain information about your habits, where you go, what you do. There's databases out there that will tell us about all your litigation, how many times you've been sued, if you're married or not married, credit history. There are databases out there that have just about everything you'd want to know about an individual. It's really very easy to get information on people if you know where to go.
And I just don't know anything about her.
Well, do you have things like her name and her current address or phone number?
I do have her name, and she has somewhat of a common name, and that is a problem. As far as her address, she's a little vague about it. She lives someplace in Santa Monica in one of these beachfront hotels.
Well, we can find her. That's not really an issue. We were hired by a vice president of ABC to follow his wife, and she just saw us all the time following her. And I told her the only way we're ever going to catch your wife is by renting a helicopter. He said, fine, rent a helicopter. And we rented a helicopter and surveilled her for 3 or 4 days and caught her going into the Holiday Inn in Westwood and went in and knocked on the door with the hotel security. And as they say, caught her in the act. I think prevention is probably the best pound of cure that you can have. By preventing people from accessing your home, by preventing people from violating you, from not speaking on the telephone to people who you don't know who you're speaking to and telling them your life story, not letting people come to your home and do these fictitious surveys, not knowing what the intent of that survey is. You don't give up information. You lock your trash. You do things that protects your integrity, that protects your privacy and protects your family's privacy. You've got to do that today. If you don't do it, it's going to end up showing up in the national tabloids, or it's going to end up showing up where you don't want it to appear.